the way the attitude of the players on Washington was ready to sit back and say, we're going to make this a little bit physical. Unfortunately, the team was a losing team, Washington, so you couldn't gear up. Right. If they had some type of players that did, some antagonists on Cleveland, it would make a better story. But you don't have nobody
There's
on
nobody
that team.
To bring nothing.
Right, so it's hard to make it as significant.
Because the teams, okay, wonderful point, Vic. Because the teams don't have a big rivalry.
That's right.
There's no real, in other words, it's not a special big thing between the play. This is about the fans.
Yeah, you don't even see LeBron.
No.
See, if LeBron was being happy-go-lucky in the Miami Heat and coming in going, yeah, it would add more to it because you could write the story.
Because to me, the reason why he's not happy, it goes back to the whole playoff thing.
Right.
He has that additional pressure now because it's still implied that he put this together. In other words, okay, is it just me or is it more pressure being applied to LeBron than Wade and Bosh combined?
Easily.
Times 2, right?
Oh, yeah, times 3 or 4.
Right,
yeah,
which is kind of, you would think, okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, see, the part that is, if they had that rivalry, it would extend beyond throughout the season. But since Cleveland doesn't look like at this time, they may have a chance, fighting for that 8th position, it would have more story behind it. But right now, it's going to be just the attitude of LeBron and how he plays. And that's about it. So, okay, well, now I'm going to go to the next one. I have to go into this. Nobody's even reporting on this because it's not an issue yet. And I'm asking the question, really, which I think has already been scrambling around on a lot of people's head and part of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Who is going to be the coach in 2011? And I have 3 picks here. They're my picks. Nobody else put those up there. I have John Gruden. He's an analyst right now. Bill Cowher. Both are Super Bowl, of course, champion coaches. And then I have the present coach, Jason Garrett. Now, if you had an empire, Mario, the size and the investment of the Dallas Cowboys, and you're Jerry Jones, out of these 3, where do you think you would get the best results in return on? Think about it now. You got Jason Garrett, who's pulling out plays right now that they say, it's interesting that he's doing plays with the team, with the Cowboys, that were not used when, of course, Wade was there. So
I like the job he's done for the most part.
Okay.
Especially that way. You know what? This really involves understanding the mind of Jerry Jones, and I can't presume. And I really wonder, because you always wonder who... See, with people like him, it's so much of an issue with the personality. So it's a best guess of the personalities, right?
Right.
I think first of all, Jason Garrett has done a credible job.
Right.
But I don't think it's an automatic shoe-in job.
Right. I agree.
Okay. Now,
I agree.
I thought that the issue with Bill Cowher was that he wasn't available.
I think Bill is waiting for the best opportunity.
Really?
I do. I
don't know if Dallas fits him.
He got a championship already, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't know. But you know what? But Gruden, man, I think Gruden wants it. And I think if Gruden wants it, it's his to have.
But
if he wants it.
But you do know that it's a meeting of the minds.
Right, but I think I think that he fits it well, and you could have Gruden keep Jason Garrett on as offensive coordinator. Do you know that?
Yeah, and the part I'm saying here,
I don't know that wouldn't happen.
Right. I can't say it, and I'm not putting it out there. I'm not sure.
Jason Garrett is a coveted offensive coordinator.
But being a coach off of what they call the America's team requires a lot more than just being an offensive coordinator.
Well, that's why I don't know. That's why I said, to me, if it was John Gruden's, I'm guessing now. I think that if he wants it, and expresses a desire, where Cowher will have to be courted, I think.
I agree.
So I think if Gruden wants it, it would be his to have, and I wouldn't be shocked to have him get the coaching job and Jason Garrett to stay on as offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I wouldn't be either. I'm expecting that Jason Garrett will be there for other reasons.
Because he's going to keep him for administration.
Right.
Jerry Jones probably tell him, because he's a favorite son of Jerry Jones anyway.
He is, and I do think this. We always think about whether Jerry Jones is going to court somebody, and I always say, always believe that coaches have back of their head interest. Winning a championship. Well, if you won at Pittsburgh, what's a better team? I mean, Pittsburgh has the most championship Super Bowls right now, right? You know what
it is? It's just that Cowher right now, and has represented for a while, a reluctance to return to coaching. To me, tell me if I'm wrong. Has he not always, he has not at one point in time
Right.
indicated
Not
any
at all.
desire to return to coaching.
No, and we're not going to hear that because I think what happens is when you win a championship or a Super Bowl, you have a little leverage to turn around. I can be like selective.
Well, even without the leverage, it's a matter where your head is. Do you want to remember he stopped
I know.
because of family stuff and all that?
And I think
I don't think he'll do it.
Well,
Gruden to me wants to return to coaching.
Yes, he does. And I think, Kyle, here's the part I said, well, let's just say the ratings on the NFL's pregame show tank a little bit or go down. Now the options are that you have not a project to be on. It leaves you idle time. What's your first place do you think about going to? And I said, you always go back to coaching. It's in your blood.
Yeah, even though, like I said, that's the difference. To me, Gruden is not that kind of decision.
Yeah.
He is doing analyst work as a sideline, as a backup career
Right.
for the future, but maybe.
Right.
But mostly he wants to be coaching the other stuff on the side. That's his fundamental thing.
Yeah.
Cowher is different. He's had his. He might do it if it was a very lucrative. But the issue is, and maybe I can relate more to this as I'm getting, what kind of challenges do you embrace at his point in time? Like you say, it could be leverage, but I just think he's done it, been there, done that.
Right.
What other challenges are you going to embrace now?
Right.
When you've done that, you know what work it is to pull it off, or do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And I don't know that he feels that way with his family and all that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, this is a hypothesis where it hasn't been out in the media, but I do believe it's coming because when you have to return the dollar investment that you alone built on the stadium development, and now you were removed from even being involved in the playoffs almost, you have to make up your money and the merchandising and everything else. And I think players react to championship Super Bowl coaches. And I think what happens, it becomes the leverage move. But I agree with you. I don't think Howard's coming back. And I think Gruden has just that type of thing where if I come in here, coach, I win Super Bowls. I do. I believe it. But we're going to go into what we call Do You Believe? And this is a thing that, there's a quote here that always reminds me of who we are. Mario always says that. We are the resistance. He actually thrives in this and actually convinced me not to put up a picture of women in bikinis with their tops off and said, put up We Are the Resistance. And I followed suit, man. You are the man.
I was just joking. Where the women with the bikinis?
The bikini tops?
Man.
Yep, you put up
You blew it, man.
Hey, I sure did, man. I
Never listened to the old man.
Well, I had to go up there. We can always stand for something, so we're going to stand for the resistance.
Damn.
Wait a minute, sound effects. Here we go. See, that's the labor of love in this studio. Hey, you know what? While he's having fun with that, let me just go on and cover a couple of Do You Believes, because whether you believe it or not, we're going to ask the question. Do you believe Yankee Derek Jeter will not re-sign with New York and fans will turn on him? Yes or no, Mario? New
York fans are used to being jilted.
Oh, simple. So in other words,
they're used to. They get over it.
So
they get over it and keep moving.
Now Jeter's had a down year this past season.
Yeah, they don't care.
So you think they'll let him go without no problem?
They could or they could keep him. I mean, they like him, but I don't think if they have to think of all the wonderful players that they've jilted.
Who is the best merchandising? See, I think merchandising, all the money comes in here because there's a lot of players, but this guy's about to break some records, all-time records for the Yankees. Merchandising becomes a part of this, not just a player performance. So what do you think?
Well, agree, but I guess that makes money for the company.
Right.
But I think the fans will go with him wherever he goes for merchandising.
What about Boston Red Sox? Would you see that as being a benefit for him, for Jeter? Wait a minute, see, the face already did it. See, you acting just like a New York fan right now. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Please don't compare me to a New York fan.
Wait a minute. So, would you buy
New York? We're being assholes and art for.
No, I'm not talking about New York. You guys got big love. He lives
with New York. I don't have big love for New York.
Yes, you do.
I have wonderful people I love in New York, but the city as an experience is like urban too much. Overdose.
Okay, overdose. I'll say this.
I know New York.
I'm going to say, look, I want to keep it on Jeter. Would Jeter sell wearing a Red Sox outfit?
Yes, Jeter will sell wearing garter and pantyhose.
Okay, that answered that question. That's done. That's
He'll
over.
Sell. He will sell.
I don't have to even ask anything else.
It's like Kobe. Would Kobe sell as a Boston Celtic?
Oh. No.
Yes, he would.
No.
He wouldn't sell?
No.
Oh, come on.
They have to build up some kind of hate thing or something.
Oh, they just after everybody gets over the seizure, you have to think of the. You know what?
What?
Okay, Vic.
What?
When Jabbar came to the Lakers
From Milwaukee,
wasn't it? Did it feel like there's memorable things like that.
Yeah.
That okay. How about Shaq? When Shaq first came to the Lakers, in fact, a lot of people they first came to the Lakers. When
Right.
Shaq first came to the Lakers,
Right.
Wasn't that also kind of wow? Who? What? Wait.
To me, I'll compare it. Like I agree with you. I'm gonna compare it to this way.
Chamberlain when he came to the Lakers.
Well, I'll say this: there are never not enough opportunities to trade someone somewhere. But I believe there are people like Bird coming to the Lakers. Could you see that happening?
Yes, I can, and I can also tell you this. There's one more stab at New York.
I knew
the one
it.
city where
See?
players could go into the pit of anonymity.
Oh.
Amari Stoudemire, you're now in that. Even though they're playing better, right?
Right, they
But
are.
who gives a shit?
All right.
Now I'm going to watch the Knicks. Well, when they say the New York Knicks versus, aren't you already reaching for the remote control?
You know
Aren't you
what?
already reaching
I'm
for
gonna
the
say this. I'm gonna say this.
control?
What I like, I do
Click,
like.
click, click, click.
I like Amari Stoudemire because he's a good player. I like his attitude when he's playing. So he
I
would
do
get me
too.
to watch them because they needed a marquee
Have you
player
watched
there.
them? Have you watched the
Yes,
Knicks?
a little bit, not enough. Not enough. You're right on this. I haven't watched them enough.
Tell you know, if the Knicks are on and they're
Right.
showing reruns of the Brady Bunch,
You're
which
right.
it's hard, isn't it?
Dude, you know what?
hard.
You're taking it
It's
down a different
hard.
road. First of all, I don't even know what the
Marshall
Brady
starts
Bunch
looking
is.
pretty good. He starts saying, the Knicks.
All right.
The Knicks been bad so long, it's not even fair.
Right.
Vic, the Knicks probably right now are worth watching.
Right.
But it's been so bad for so long that you're just so used to switching away.
I know.
Whenever they're
I know. And
it's almost like the New Orleans Saints used to be, right?
Right.
You would
I
never
want
want to
them
watch
to win.
them.
I want New York to come
I
back
do too.
to the time that they've been
Oh,
in.
no.
How can you have that much money invested?
I like for them to suffer in the pit of anonymity. Poor Spike.
That's a shame.
You can always throw the Knicks in his face now. Hey, Spike.
That's wrong. That's wrong, man. That's wrong.
You know how much I love Spike Lee. But,
I know.
You
Okay.
still get to mess with him.
That's okay though, man. But let me look at it this way. I'll say this. I agree with you. I'll say that it is hard to turn around and look at Derek Jeter in another outfit, but I can see it happening more so than I can see it.
That's like seeing your old girlfriend, which is like your most hated enemy.
Yeah, I know. I know. You're right.
You gag and choke on it, but you get over it.
You know what? That's like, okay, I'm going to leave that alone. Let me go to the next Do You Believe? Because, this other analogy will just mess it up. Okay. All right. Do you believe Miami College coach Randy Shannon immediately was fired after the last game last week? I mean, right after the game.
Yeah.
From fear.
They were ready to fire him at the beginning of the game.
Right. From fear, though. Why he was fired? From John Gruden wanting the job, and no one messes with Chucky. Is that true?
No, that's false.
Oh, but you know what? There's some news here that you need to know.
John Gruden doesn't want that job.
Oh, no. That's the top headline as it relates to college football, that John Gruden may be showing interest in the Miami
that's
job.
the headline. Maybe. Let's see, when you get heads like that, that's like when somebody tells you, that girl over there, she may be showing interest in you.
You know
How excited do you get?
You know what? You have to go.
That's the level of excitement I have on this one.
Wait.
He may be showing interest.
You know what?
So what?
You could sit there and say that. You have to go back 25 years and have that same analogy.
She may be.
See?
She may be showing interest in you.
All right. You know what? There's a lot of fine women out there that I absolutely feel that is worth looking at.